Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to be breaking down a very positive vibe this month for you. Be careful about signing documents connected to taxes. It definitely looks like you could be majorly leveling up in your career sector gains. Spooky paranormal events occur that open up doors of unconditional love and forgiveness for you. Good for soul work, good for clearing grief. A big full light here is showing you what you need to see regarding what you possess in life. You're probably really reflecting as well on dietary habits and styles and addictive patterns that may be getting in the way of your life. And this moon can open you up to making a change. And it could bring a devotional new destined love story to single Virgos looking for love. But it's almost like you've got such momentum and such drive that nothing can stop you now.
Lunatic Astrology.
Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're talking about the month of April 2023. We have some positive surprises in work and career matters, as well as relationship, long-term and committed. We're going to be breaking down a very positive vibe this month for you. The eclipses are behind us, including that Virgo eclipse that might have rocked your world and is still kind of reverbing forward from March the 3rd. But we're also going to address in our April video today, April of 2026 for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're also going to address the energy of all of this dignity in your sky. Venus in her home kingdom of Taurus. Hallelujah. Mercury will be moving out of retrograde and moving out of the sign of Pisces, where he's been debilitated for a very, very long time in the month of April. And he's your guy. And all said and done, even Mars will be in his home kingdom. So the whole push forward comes with a kind of inherent strength and positivity in your work, your career, and your relationship life. Let's bring that to your attention by going through the sky and sharing your story week by week in the next 30 minutes together. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. We're using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, of course. How to cast your chart in the traditional house system. Check my box below. In the description section, there's a free video tutorial helping you do that with free online software. You'll need to know your time of birth. And also, if you want to time your best life for 2026, because astrology is a map of time, you can get my 2026 all signs and individual bundles down below. And if you want to learn how to time your life using divine timing tools called Ancient Tools for Predictive Astrology, we're doing that course coming up in May for 5 solid weeks with very exotic tools. You need to be an advanced beginner and you need to be an intermediate level astrology student to learn from me on that course. Information for signing up below. So I want to mention to you guys that I'm recording during Mercury retrograde on March the 5th. And it was been a day. All right. I did a whole video and the recording button wasn't on just before we stepped into this. So Virgo, I'm commiserating with you guys, Mercury world beings. And I'm saying, I get it. When Mercury goes retrograde, I'm sure your whole world feels like it goes into a bit of a frazzle. And I even had a client yesterday, Mercury retrograde, all my Virgos, I can get down with this, who gave me the wrong birth information. And halfway through the reading, she said, "What? I'm not that sign rising." And I'm going, well, look what you gave me in the intake form. It was kind of her mistake. All right. But I rescheduled the reading. So it's been like that for me for the last 2 days. So be nice and kind to me as I take us through the story of your month ahead. And if you haven't ever liked and subscribed and you're listening to me now and you feel sorry for me, then please like and subscribe. This is Virgo. This is the glyph for your sign. We pretend the moon or the sun is here to delineate sun, moon, and rising. Rising sign is your simulation avatar character, and it really describes circumstantial changes. It's the character you were born to play. The game player of the character, or the real you, is the sun, who takes on a meat suit and becomes a character in incarnation. And your sun can bring you in touch with purpose and meaning of life stuff, as well as career. And we tend to open up to our solar energy more directly after the age of 45. And finally, the moon is how you think and feel about life. I think and feel this way and that way. The knowing heart tells all. The thinking feeling tells you nothing. But the moon sign can also take you into context to do with matters related to your domicile, your home, and where you live. Okay. So I just wanted to get the ascendant there so that I don't overshoot, which happens all the time. There we go. 0 degrees of Virgo. So Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Let's get going. Let's talk the sky together. Week by week, we start off on April the 1st with a moon in Libra around 12 degrees. This full moon in Libra at 12 degrees will be lighting up a torchlight in your money house, earnings, money, resources, financial, assets, the I have house, your possessions. A big full light here is showing you what you need to see regarding what you possess in life and your values, your earnings and money and savings. And it's a big light from a seed planted last October 21st on the new moon that happened back then. Quite often, lunations in the second house bring you in touch with also your ambitions for your career, your work, your job, your money are all entwined in this little miniature triangle to Arta, 2, 6, and 10. So you might be reflecting and shining a light on the earnings situation as well. Sometimes a big full moon here will shed light on what you put in your nose and mouth, what comes through your face that you ingest or sniff. And you might be reflecting on whether you want that to be a part of your life. The sun is being reflected with Neptune, addiction, Saturn, control in an 8th house that's very spiritual and psychological. So you're probably really reflecting as well on dietary habits and styles and addictive patterns that may be getting in the way of your life. And this moon can open you up to making a change. Now, one thing I want to say is that a full moon, full light ruled by Venus, right? Venus is a ruler of the second house. Well, with Venus in the 9th house and Taurus in great dignity, as the month begins all the way through to the 30th, could bring you into some kind of illumination of a financial opportunity connected to publishing, book publishing, foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign travel, foreign people. All right. And even maybe sometimes the 9th house is headhunters or human resource departments. And that is a part of what may open doors for you 2 to 3 weeks after the April 1st lunation. On the April 1 to 4, we see good news happening and positive, really good commercial transactions as Mercury and Jupiter flow in a beautiful trine together. And that is because Jupiter exalted will now be direct in his motion ever since March the 11th. He's in the sky in your 11th house. He'll take you in a time travel way to things that happened last August of 25, where he's in the same degree. And he's flowing to your marriage house. Now, this can be very positive for your relationship to a significant other as the two of you make decisions like buying a home, cohabiting, marriage proposals, planning for a wedding, discussing whether or not you want to have children. There's something very beautiful here. And Jupiter says, well, some of this stuff took place last August. And Mercury, who's retrograde, says some of this stuff started to take place in the first 3 weeks of January. So you got some retrogradation over old territory. Oh, sorry. Yes, and Mercury's back in the retrograde place that he was traveling back in the day. He's in direct motion now. So we have direct motion, forward momentum on things that you've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over with a little bit, perhaps, of uncertainty. And now you're ready to move forward. And a lot of this might involve a business partnership or a significant relationship in positive directions for that relationship. On April the 1st to the 4th, we're going to see that Venus will square Pluto, and Pluto is wealth, power, and secrets that are invisible and hidden. And Venus is in the 9th house. Now, there's a lot about this that makes me think the love of power, the power of love, but also coming from what must be revealed. And there can be a revelation of what you really desire and love professionally. You might come into some uncovering of your natural wishes and how you want to express your job, work, money stories through an alignment with purpose and meaning, dharma. And if that's to happen, some of you might even begin under this influence to consider professional education or going to school to learn a new trade or to learn a new path professionally. Otherwise, you could also have a powerful revelation regarding a career opportunity connected to a foreign company or foreign land. So there's an opening here that could be quite profound and very powerful. And I'm opening that up for you. Or you get guidance from a mentor, guide, or counselor that transforms your reality, especially about addictions and self-undoing. On the 5th and 6th of the month, Jupiter and the sun become square, which is still good because Jupiter's exalted and the sun is also exalted in the sign of Aries. Well, I think you're going to have an exalted opportunity. Now, this looks like it could be professional because this is the gains of career and work, or coming through friends and a sibling one older, but also connected to the eighth house of chunky money. So you could also come into some legacy wealth from someone in your family of origin, transferring money your way. Jupiter rules the fourth house of your origin family. So you either are coming into some money, or your significant main long-term love partner may come into some money. And it may feel a bit like a windfall, like pennies from heaven, like superior good fortune. And so this exalted opportunity opening looks good and feels good April the 5th, 6th or so. On April the 7th to the 14th, Mars will sextile Uranus. Mars is about the decisions and actions we want to take, in your case, connected to long-term love, marriage, and business partners, but also connected to how your main partner in life, should you be with somebody, is also experiencing reality, and they are ready to move forward and claim that seize the day, because they are now dealing with Mars in Pisces, visible since March 17th. You might notice if you go back and think about your partner after mid-March, that they really got clear about what they wanted and didn't want in life. And that includes whether they want to be in the relationship they are in with you or not, or what they want to accomplish in their world. And for example, with Mars here, your partner might be saying, I want to travel more. The travel house is ruled by Mars. Or your partner might be saying something like, I want to invest my monies in the market, or I want to divest my monies, or change my tax structures, or, tap into chunks of money to live the life I want. My savings that are invested in the 401k, I'm going to use that, honey. This is your person is not looking at life differently because they're moving forward. And with Mars here, what I'm trying to get at is there's a surprise on the 7th and 9th of the month. Mars, Uranus. Surprise, honey, I'm moving to Portugal. Surprise, honey, I'm traveling abroad. I'll see you later. Surprise, honey, I got a new job opportunity from a company in a foreign land. Surprise, honey. I don't know what your surprise is, but your partner's probably delivering it. Okay. It may involve travel, but it may come from someone else. Otherwise, major turning points in long-term love connected to legal matters, including courts, judges, and legal paperwork. And so there could be separation agreements, divorce settlements, that kind of thing getting underway here. On the 12th to the 13th of the month, we're going to take a look at how Venus is going to, in a beautiful dignity in her home kingdom here, trine Jupiter, sextile Jupiter here. Now, I don't even know how good this is. I know it's good, but I'm just sort of saying to myself, how good can you stand it? Okay. I want to get us ahead in the schedule because I'm already way over on the 12th and I haven't advanced the chart. So Venus at 13 degrees, Jupiter at 16. You start to feel the good luck building on April the 10th. It's going to be pretty exact on the 12th and 13th. And whatever this is, how good can you stand it? It definitely looks like you could be majorly leveling up in your career sector gains, better office, more rewards, employee of the year, more money, more perks. The success of your career itself, the gains of your career is amplified by an exalted Jupiter and a dignified in her home kingdom Venus. This is like the headhunter, the human resources department. This is getting a new level of position in a company closer to the person in power, closer to the hierarchical peak. And you'll notice here that there's a vestal flame of duty and devotion flowing to the whole thing as well, and a north node of destiny. So when we go to the career up levels, wonderful. In your significant long-term love relationship, there's an aspect of mutual devotion or devotion that's desired within the relationship. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. You can sing that song to each other right from Greece. Hopelessly devoted to you. I think that's from Greece. And at the same time, you do see Venus in the house of churches and synagogues, and Jupiter in a very long-range goals and wishes. If you've longed to have a wedding with your partner, to get an engagement proposal, to plan for a wedding, that's a story that could happen. Now, another story would be, okay, you didn't plan for it because it's not yours to plan for. You're going to be a grandparent. This is a beautiful example of what could happen under this kind of a sky. And if you're not going to be a grandparent, then maybe one of your children's children is having a great deal of luck flowing through their world in their own reality. And so that could be all that is, specifically and especially your first and second born grandchildren. All right. Relative to your perspective. Okay, so it's very fortunate. It's very lucky. I don't see a downside. I'm trying to find it. I'm really having a hard time. Venus exalts your marriage house. A lot of you are going to see an up level in the relationship you have to a significant other. There's no two ways about it. And Jupiter under the domicile of the moon, in the moon's domicile. The moon is about to move on the 13th into your marriage house. So it's really good for long-term committed love. If you're single, how would you get a love relationship out of this? You probably find it through travel or through interconnections with friends and social groups. And it could bring a devotional, new, destined love story to single Virgos looking for love in all the right places. Why the hell not? Look for that love story anywhere between the 10th and 13th of April. On the same time frame, Mars and Neptune co-join. I think I always use the analogy of you have a fogged up windshield in your car, and then you put the defogger on and you clear the fog. Well, Neptune is the fog of illusion and delusion and confusion, uncertainty, inertia. Mars is actions, decisions, and clarifying things. When Mars and Neptune co-join on April the 12th, and you'll start to feel it a couple of days before, let's say April 10th, 11th, 12th, you're starting to see. On a clear day, you can see forever. You do not have a fog bank in your way. You know what it is you need to do. And it's about shared mutual resources with another, or it's chunks of money that come through taxes and investments. And you may have had confusions about this and uncertainty and royalty income and Google AdSense revenue. You hold the money with others, and it includes in-law money and shared partner spousal monies. So all that money, all that stuff has now a Martian imperative. Mars will cut, end, and sever, divide assets in a marital separation, and clarify confusion here. Mars will be in this part of your chart, April the 9th to May the 19th, April the 9th to May the 19th. He's got a sword in the house of mutual shared resources, and he's slicing and dicing away. And as he does that, there's not just the ability to divide assets between you and another, but there's also the ability here to eliminate or to take away or to prune the way you resource chunks of money, and that includes stock investment money. Be careful here, because if you've been delusional that your weird stock investment was going to go up forever or keep going up, Neptune hitting Mars would be the brunt force realism and sober-minded shock. Saturn in fall, that your assets are tanking because the stock market is tanking, because the whole economies are tanking because of a war or something. So you're at risk of losing money that you're unattending because you just think it's going to make money will continue to germinate money. So be careful here. I'm a realistic astrologer. Exalted Sun would mean you're boldly moving forward with reckless and carelessness with money that could be put into like a bond or something for safety. All right. Enough warning you about that, Virgos. Let's move into the next story. All right. We're going to move to the 14th to the 21st. And this is a very busy week. It's just like nonstop stuff, guys. And so with that underway, and I'm speaking too quickly, then you can slow me down on the playback speed. Let's start away with Mercury, your ruler of your sign, sextile, positive flow to Uranus, good news, surprising news, breakthrough information. What is it about? Significant long-term love story, surprise, Venus and dignity. That could be the wedding proposal. That could be the let's get married proposal. That could be your partner saying, guess what? We're moving to another country. I've got a job in, Siberia. That could be your partner saying, I want to start a divorce settlement, because unfortunately, you see that is a courthouse, right? You get summoned and you get your papers and you're going to separate. Even if Venus is in dignity and Jupiter is blessing the story, it doesn't always look like it's what you think you want. So there still could be something going on with a silver lining, though. So if there is a divorce settlement underway, and this is a part of the story on the 14th, then this story is going to, in the long term, yield positive results that benefit you. So don't resist. Resistance is futile. And there's a lot of international energy, the themes of the word international. Mercury rules your 10th house of career. human resources, headhunters, jobs that are high level administration, being up, close to the big boss and in some powerful role at work. And it could be an opportunity to increase your success financially. So raises, promotions, new levels of success professionally is another meaning of that for you, Virgo. It's if you're employed by someone else, not if you're independently employed. And then on the 14th or 15th, we see Mars and Pluto in a beautiful flowing relationship to each other. Now, Pluto down here is with the marriage goddess herself, or the contractual and vows and agreements in a work house, work and job. And there's a lot of flow coming here from Mars. And this could feel a lot like you've got this drive and power, determination, like unstoppable willpower or unstoppable drive and ambition. It could be connected to work, debt elimination, financial restructuring, working on new tax structures connected to your work. But it's almost like you've got such momentum and such drive that nothing can stop you now. And this could even be this powerful transformation of wealth connected to inheritances, eliminations of debts, cutting away spousal resources and realizing you're going to come out on top if there's a divorce. The lawyers are saying, you got this, you're going to be rich after this, that kind of thing. It looks good on those fronts. Now, there's a whole tool for spouse like a spouse, right? And I can't do that with you because I don't have your chart in front of me. Depending on your chart, the small chance that this is a spousal situation to do with the passing of a spouse. Okay. It's a widowmaker placement for Mars. Pluto's Lord of Death, but this spouse would likely be ailing or ill, right? In the past. It won't be like a catastrophic shock or anything like that. I don't believe. All right. On the 17th of the month, there's a new moon at 27 degrees of Aries, while Mercury will co-join Neptune. So let's take a look. So let's say we have the 27th, April 17th. So we go back a day. So on the 16th, 17th, Mercury and Neptune are together, which is very dreamy and spiritual. And this is where dead people can be talking to you, the afterlife, channeling archangels, a profound, spooky, paranormal events occur that open up doors of unconditional love and forgiveness for you. Good for soul work, good for clearing grief, good for moving forward in life by disabling your own self and doing habits, patterns, and addictions, but maybe even being hypnotized or having a spiritual revelation as well. So this energy is really nice and strong and more or less positive under guideship of Mars. And it's really short-lived. So look to the 16th, 17th for these more spiritual openings. Be careful about signing documents connected to taxes or investments until Mercury goes to the other side of Neptune. So after the 18th, 19th, because it could be 16th and 17th, you might be a little fogged out and not sure about the fine print and the details you need to see, or not sure about what the legal consequences of this is. So take some time to wait. The new moon at 27 degrees of Aries is happening right up here. It's a fresh start and a new beginning that unrolls after about 2 to 3 to 4 weeks maximum after the new moon. The new moon again on the 17th of the month of April. And so you want to start a fresh start in your investments, stock market monies, book income royalties, Google AdSense paychecks, chunks of money, tax structures, money you share with a spouse, new beginnings and fresh starts. The sky lines up to also open the new moon up to potentially purchasing a home with a significant relationship or business partnership person in the course of the 6 months that follows the new moon. And the new beginnings in the 8th house are good for occultists. If you want to study tarot, numerology, the deep mysteries of life, the occult practices, not in a negative way, good sorcery. This is going to open up a new beginning and a fresh start. They could open you up to the possibility that you can become more adept. Mercury is learning study as well. He's the astrologer priest to the king in the ancient tradition when you have him natally in your 8th house. So you're opening up some deeper, non-linear, non-logical, non-normal, paranormal superpowers under the sky of the new moon on the 27th of degree of Aries, and you're going to add 6 months. All right. On the 18th and 19th, Mercury and Pluto are flowing together, uncovering knowledge or understanding or information that may have been hidden from view, excavating something as well from its cloaking device in the sixth house. Now, this could be debts and shared debts. It could be that your partner didn't say that they maxed the credit card out or something, or that you thought they had more money, or that your collaborative shared income with a long-term partner, you didn't know how much they had. They might have more than they said, an exalted sun, and you thought, oh my God, I thought my partner was poor. Or you're married and you don't know what all the investments are that your spouse has, and you are going to uncover something. And it can include debts as well that your partner has hidden from you. But there's an uncovering of debts and money matters that may be connected to spousal shared resources. It could also be uncovering things that are hidden about rental property income, and rental property opportunities. There's an unearthing of something unseen or unknown. There could also be an unearthing of a health challenge with an existing pet, as another example, or an unearthing of a potential opportunity connected to work and career that also changes your approach to your long range money goals. Now, on the 17th to the 20th, you're going to hit a wall, or something or someone is kind of hitting a flat line. Mars in his home kingdom with an exalted sun in the eighth house is trying to boldly move forward, but he'll crash right into a fallen Saturn, which is very realistic energy. And it's not that Mars isn't a realist. He can be very ambitious and very powerfully a warrior in Aries, but he crashes into a restriction around the 18th of the month. You start to feel it building, maybe the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th into the 20th. It probably could be a sort of a realistic assessment that feels like a giving up or a wall or a futility around matters to do with home, property, and land and real estate, to do with investments, shared resources, inheritances, and spousal separation agreements, to do with your career and the ultimate goals of your career and gaining money from your career and job. And, maybe just something as simple as something's held back or delayed. You're supposed to get that tax rebate, and now you find out there's an audit. You know what I mean? There's just this frustration is another word around money. It's going to last from about the 16th to the 20th, and then it's going to wane. And it's going to set in motion a new story for you in your eighth house over 2 years about how you handle shared resources with a partner, including separation and inheritances. So that's another big story. I'll be doing a separate video on it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. After the delay and frustration, by the time we move past that, you're going to notice that Mercury will hit Mars around the 18th, 19th. Now, Mercury, Mars, it can be many things. This triple conjunction is a big deal for the world. Mercury, Saturn, Mars, all kind of piling up on the 19th. And then on the 20th and 21st, Mercury breaks free of Saturn. The whole vibrational frequency is something like you're getting the information or the details or the news that you need to do with money you share with others, or that comes in a chunk. So if it was an inheritance, this is where you finally get your hands on the will, or your lawyer tells you what the disbursements will be, or something like that, or what the restrictions will be and how you have to work with it. Whatever this is going to be, it'll be something. And, Mercury is the ruler of that moon on the 19th in your 10th house. So for some of you, it could take you into divorce settlement territory and separation of assets and division of debts with a significant love partner. Otherwise, I'm not sure what it is until you go through it, but it definitely could bring you into attention on the 19th and 20th to career matters as well as money matters. And the frustration is going to ebb after the 20th. And now you've got the information to take action from about the 20th to the 21st or so. On the very last week of the month, as we go from the 21st to the 27th, see how Mercury's cleared the frustration zone when we get to the 21st. But as we move forward, we're going to talk about Venus and one's last in a lifetime conjunction to Uranus at 29 degrees of Taurus in your ninth house of God and good things and luck and universities and book publishing deals and foreign lands and foreign people and travel and courts and international and higher educational settings. Whoo! Venus is up here. She's going to surprise you. She started to create a yearly surprise here, more or less, since 2019. That's how long we've had a full occupation by Uranus. And now Venus is activating every single year. Unfortunately, to some of this activation has been challenging and erratic energy, especially with Algol last year and the year before being highly activated in 24-25. But this is a last in a lifetime activation, not to be seen for another 70 odd years, where you're going to find that you have a surprise or a breakthrough. Now, it can be a breakthrough with a guide, mentor, counselor, or coach. It could be a breakthrough with your spiritual religious ideology. It could be a breakthrough with international situation or a travel opportunity, or it could be this surprise. And breakthrough or surprises are the key words we're using. With a Vestal flame of devotion in your 7th house, it could also be a surprise connected to long-term committed love relationships. And yes, I could go with wedding and marriage proposals or proposals to purchase a home together under this kind of sky. You may have a surprise opportunity to go to a higher educational setting and get an invitation that shocks you because you didn't think you qualified, and a positive surprise in a legal or court matter as well. Now, this surprise taking place flowing to your Virgo-ness is going to be more powerful for Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising between 25 and 29 degrees of Virgo. Venus can translate this surprise to more money unexpectedly coming your way from a situation that you did not anticipate. Alrighty. Also, on the 24th to the 26th, the Sun and Pluto will square. Power struggles often emerge when Pluto and the Sun are no longer friendly with each other. The power struggle could have to do with a work employer-employee situation, a rental property, a pet matter, or something to do with debt. And Pluto is powerfully squaring a Sun in the kingdom of Venus, the 9th house. This could look like a legal snafu regarding visas, travel, work, rental property stories, matters connected to pets. You're trying to import a Chihuahua from Mexico, but now there's a problem with the airline. There's a snafu, but there's also a power struggle. You could definitely have a real power struggle over legal things to do with wealth and financial debt and inheritance under this kind of sky. The Sun is also the ruler of your 12th house of hospitals. So we're going back. Is there an ailing or elderly person in your family or your spouse's family getting ready to pass? That's Saturn in the 8th house. Or have they passed? And now they are trying, or you're trying together to parse the finances in the aftermath. And so what I'm saying is there's a battle or a power struggle going on. It's probably not involving you as directly, actually, other than it could be a work and human resources battle. Partner thing going on, you and work and human resources, 24th to the 26th. And then we go to the 26th to the 27th, and Mercury squares Jupiter, just like he did in the beginning of April in a trine. It's still good news. It's still positive. The square is not debilitating at all when Jupiter is involved, especially here in exaltation. Starting around the 25th, 26th, 27th, something good is trying to happen. It looks financial. It looks like a chunk of money. It looks like it feels like a windfall. It requires immediate actions and decisions and maybe a championship fight to get what you deserve, but you're having a financial opportunity emerge during that time. And it looks like you could say to yourself, it feels like good fortune and a windfall, but I might have to go to battle for it. And I have to take action now. Sign that document, call the lawyer, do the thing, whatever it is. And that is positive, but demands action and decision-making on the 26th, 5th, 6th, and 7th of April. Write those dates down for you having to be a champion for your own prosperity, luck, and success. On the last part of the month, Venus takes the helm and finishes us strong. She's going to sextile Neptune, trine Pluto, 25th, 26th, and we're not going to see anything more lovely than her participation from Gemini, right, where she will have entered into on April the 24th, and will be in Gemini till May the 19th. Your career is on a glow up. You are loved. You are rewarded. You are special. You are high in the sky. You are enjoying your work. You're getting all kinds of accolades. Life is good in the career sector for almost all of you. Or you're sharing with the world. You're going to get married. You're going to move in together. You're telling the world about your new love status in the world. Or we're getting divorced, but you're so happy and you're sharing it with the world. Now, when Venus is up here, in your 10th house from March 31st to April 23rd. It's the first time in your life. Oh, sorry, April 24th to May 19th. It's the first time you've done this with Uranus here, right? This is a big deal. So now we have unexpected freedom and excitement and exhilaration in your reputation, in your career, in your visible world actions. This will increase your financial success over the next 7 years. We'll do a whole video on that. But how does it feel in the short term? Well, it looks to me like Venus in your 10th house creates a beautiful flow to Pluto, wealth and power in your work house, work and career, contracts and agreements, and flowing to the chunky money where we have Neptune, Saturn. So the whole last part, the 25th to the 30th of April, feels like a power up with work, job, money, debt, worldly success in the eyes of the world professionally, and some kind of positive directions regarding making your dreams true when it comes to chunks of money. Now, it could be money coming through the work, but it could sign-on bonus, severance packages, but it also could be divorce settlement money and inheritance money. And why does it impact your career and your work? Because maybe now you don't have to do the job you hate and you could start a job you like. I don't know, but it's a glow up and it's a beautiful vibe. And you can see this triangle is trying to love you up. So you're finishing strong. I say a lot of you are getting advancements in work, new levels of power and success, some kind of perks like the eighth house can be also things like, high levels of medical perks, vacation time, things like that, sign-on bonuses or a severance package if you're leaving. And here comes a chunk of money. Okay. So that looks good on you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notification. I know Mercury's retrograde. This is March the 5th. I'm recording way in advance so that I have a real life and I don't have everything revolving around constantly recording videos for people. But if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Find my Substack stuff below. I write weekly world astrology reports for you. On Substack, it's free. Come to Patreon. I do 4 Zoom calls a month. And I also teach classes there. And come to my members only here. And we'll talk all about the stuff I can't say on the public part of my YouTube without being demonetized. All right. Plus some live streams for mini readings. See you guys around. Thanks for listening. Bye. Lunatic Astrology.